here to see you. They're here to see us. Right? Here to see us. Let's be special. Let's finish strong. Let's smell greatness from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
New Orleans Saints, Pelicans, the Sports Den Show on once again. The Sports Den Show on once again. Saturday night with LSU. We got a great show just for you. We got a great show just for you. With your host, David King. The Sports Den Show got everything. The Sports Den Show got everything. The Sports Den Show got
Three-man rush. Randall rolls it as far as he can. The Tigers pull off another miracle. It was Avery Henderson that got it on the last play of the game. Warren. Shotgun from Holly in motion. Looks at his direction. And he's big dog. It's pulled off. And Crazy Booter again. He's running free. He's going to go all the way. He's got Chris. He's a straight touchdown. 70 yards on the return. Get ready to party with the party. New Orleans. Sorry. I really in Miami has happened. The Saints have won the Super Bowl. Welcome and congratulations to the 2009 Super Bowl champions, the New Orleans Saints. That many of us, have always been felt that it's a pride of winning attitude that transcript that made us want the nation to know who we were and why we were. And this is what you got. Saying I'm still in the house of stand here to ask you to do it. I don't know. Winning is the name of the game. They're going to see that love together, and you got to get it. All right, let's have the prayer. Let's go. Come on, everybody get it.
Yeah, buddy! It's the Sports Den Show. Live right here on a Tuesday afternoon. Want to thank everybody for joining me. And as always, the Sports Den Show is presented by Designer Life Engineering, your choice engineering company for engineering contracts, drafting contracts, whether it be 1 month, a year, 3 months, 4 months. We got the drafters, we got the engineers, we got the architects to handle all your engineering needs. Contact Designer Life Engineering. And also, I know a lot of y'all smart out there. And I know a lot of y'all be saying to yourself, I got an idea for an invention, but I just don't know how to do the patent. I don't even know how to make it work. Guess what? Designer Life Engineering can make it work for you. We got mechanical consultants that can consult with you, help you develop your idea, do the patent drawings, do the manufacturing drawings, and even do your prototyping. Designer Life Engineering, hit them up for all of your engineering needs. Well, our New Orleans Saints completed our preseason this past Thursday night. You know, I think the Saints did pretty good. 2-2, but who's counting the record? What we really want to see is the backups, the depth. We know what we're going to get in our starters. All right, we know what we're going to get in our starters. We know what we're going to get out of Sean Payton, the coaching staff. It's all about who's going to be contributors, who's going to be possible starters later on down the road, so forth and so forth. So how's everybody doing this evening? Everybody doing all right? Hopefully everybody doing all right. Just want to welcome you to the Sports Den Show once again. This is the only show on Facebook, folks. This is the only show on Facebook where, we talk about our Pelicans, our Saints, and the LSU Tigers. Only show on Facebook that talks about all of them. And if you really want to go a little deeper, we can talk about Southeastern Louisiana and Tulane, who had 2 good victories this past Saturday. We can talk about Grambling. We can talk about Southern. We can talk about, Xavier if you want. I mean, if you want to go deep if you want to go in the high school level, we could talk about Barb. We could talk about Baton Rouge High, Glen Oaks. We could talk about, we could talk about all this. Anything that's Louisiana, we can talk about. So today, I thought we would talk about our New Orleans Saints. We'll take a look at my top 5 plays from the preseason. Let's talk about some of the guys that really made a case to get a significant amount of playing time this year. And also, we're going to take a look at the starters, who look good as far as starting. We didn't really get to see much of the starters, but hey, it's all good. It's all right. We already know what they're going to do. So, what we're going to do is talk about, first of all, let's talk about the defense. I'm telling you something, folks. When I was going through the plays or going through the preseason games, there were just absolute times where our secondary that's all I can say. That's all I can say. Besides Malcolm Jenkins, our corners look it's typical Saints cornerback, and it just makes me wonder, there's got to be some better free agent cornerbacks out there. There's got to be somebody better than Ken Crawley. There's got to be somebody out there better than P.J. Williams. There's got to be. It's absolutely got to be. But first, let's start with the defensive line. I like the defensive line. Of course, we know what Cam Jordan's going to bring. The defensive line is going to be really stout. I really like Hendrickson. Hendrickson made some pretty good plays. I really like Hendrickson. He's going to be, somebody I think they're going to bring in on third down and situational downs and stuff like that. I really, really like our defensive line. They complement one another. They made, they really didn't make a lot of noise, but I think they made pretty much some plays here and there. See how Sheldon Rankin's going to do. Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport. We'll see how they're going to do. As far as the linebacker concerned, we know DeMario Davis. He's a baller. Klein is good. We'll see who's going to take up that number 3 or that other linebacker spot. But I'm going to tell you something. The front 7 for the Saints looks absolutely great. No wonder they had the number 1 rushing defense last year in the NFL. And possibly they're going to do it again. Have the number 1 rushing defense in the NFL because that front 7 is stacked. That front 7 is very, very talented. Now, whether or not they're going to be able to develop a pass rush, we're going to see. I think we know what Cam Jordan we're going to do. Sheldon Rankins, he kind of showed some flashes. We're going to see how he can do, if he can stay on the field, due to injuries and stuff. But the main thing is, what is Marcus Davenport going to do? She showed a couple flashes, but that's about it. This is going to be year 2 for him. This is going to be his year. That's his year to shine. This is going to be the year. This year and next year is going to be the year whether we determine whether or not we really going to even keep him. I know he was a high draft pick for the Saints, but I mean, I in preseason this was, his time to be like, okay, I've learned a lot. I've been working out. I've been working on my pass rushing moves and things like that. And it just gets to the point where you say to yourself in preseason, well, Marcus Davenport, show us something. And that's going to be the biggest question mark. If Davenport can have a breakout season to complement Cam Jordan, look out. It don't matter how good the secondary is going to be. We can get a pass rush with our front defensive line, maybe with a couple blitzes here and there from the decline the linebackers. Don't matter how good the secondary is going to be. That's how you make up for a bad secondary with a good pass rush. And, the Saints going to need as much pass rush as possible. They're going to need as much pass rush as possible to really be able to I really hate when this happens, man. Okay. All right. Okay, so I guess I'm still on YouTube. So I'm still on YouTube. I lost my connection on Facebook. So right now I'm establishing my connection back on Facebook. And we are back, folks. This is the second. I gotta see what's wrong going on with my internet, because I should not be losing connection like this. I really shouldn't. But anywho, the show must go on. The show must go on. Welcome back. And we was talking about a Saints defense and them being able to generate a pass rush. Well, here's the thing. Our secondary sucks. Let's just be honest. There's no need to sugarcoat it. There's no need to baby it. There's no need to make it sound sensitive. Our secondary sucks. Outside of Lattimore, our secondary really sucks. So it's really going to depend on whether or not the Saints are going to be able to generate a pass rush. Now, thankfully, looking at the Saints preseason schedule, of course, in our division, there's no there's no team that's really just a passing threat. Atlanta, maybe. We know what Atlanta's going to be. Tampa Bay, no. Carolina, no. So those are going to be, Tampa Bay and Carolina are going to be teams that's going to depend on the run. And thank goodness we got the front seven that will be able to stop the run. Now, as far as Atlanta's concerned, well, they kind of torched us pretty good in the second game last season. Actually, Tampa Bay did too. But who expected, with James Winston out, that the backup quarterback is going to do what he's going to do? We didn't expect that from him. We almost can't make it one in the game. But as far as the second game last year, Atlanta torched us pretty good. It just so happens at the end, Cam Jordan got that hit on Matty Falcon, whatever his name is. And once you hit Matt Ryan, it's a wrap. He's done for the rest of the game. So thank goodness in our division we don't have a good our top-notch passing team. Now, looking at the schedule, and I had the schedule, and I just don't know what I had. The schedule just disappeared. So we'll break down the schedule Monday. Well, actually, probably Thursday. We'll talk about the Saints schedule. We'll do some season predictions come Monday. But this is about the Saints preseason. This is what this show is about. And quite frankly, I think the Saints did A-okay. The Saints have a lot of talent on offense mostly. But sticking to the thing about the defense, the linebackers did good. There was a rookie linebacker who did good. I forget his name, but I really like him. I think he's going to be a great addition. Maybe he can move over to the rover position to complement Demario Davis and Klein. You never know. Now, going to the offense. Well, we know what we're going to get. We got the greatest quarterback of our time in Drew Brees. We got can't guard Mike. We got Alvin Kamara. Now, the one player that I think is gonna really make a lot of Saints fans happy is Murray. I really think he's going to be a compliment. I think he's better than Mark Ingram. I really do. Showed in preseason, and he did great. He did pretty good in in Minnesota. You know, he did pretty good in Minnesota. So I'm actually trying to find the Saints schedule right now. But yeah, he did pretty good though. I'm happy about him. Um, Latavius Murray is just going. I think he's really going to surprise some people. I think Murray is the thing about Murray. He's a big back. He can break some tackles just like Mark Ingram. But I think his acceleration is a little bit higher. The reason I say that is that what was it against the Minnesota Vikings, the first game of the preseason? He caught a pass at the backfield, and he has a good acceleration. The top end speed may be about the same as Mark Ingram, but the acceleration is there. So looking forward to see Latavius Murray, see how he can complement Alvin Kamara. Now the tight ends, of course, you know, it's on. It's on. You know, when we think about a tight end situation, that's something that the Saints just use very well. That's Jared Cook. Jared Cook is going to be a great addition to the New Orleans Saints. He is going to be. I would think his style a little bit different than Jimmy Graham. There might be plays where he will go downfield, but to be honest with you, I don't think he's going to be going deep as much as Jimmy Graham did. I don't think so. I think he's more of like middle of the field, out route kind of guy that's going to, break a tackle here and there. He's going to get a couple of extra yards after the contact. So I'm excited about Gerald Cook. Arnold, well, he had some good and he had some bads, but he's going to be a solid contributor, I really think. But the tight end position is going to be Jared Cook's to lose. So looking forward to the tight end position. Now, after can't guard Mike, who we got? Ted Ginn Jr. Getting kind of up there in age. The announcers are saying that he ain't lost a step. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing Chaquan Smith. We'll see how the young boy is going to do. I think I'm not. Man, I gotta see. I didn't prepare for the show, y'all. So I'm trying to remember who all the Saints cut. I think they re-signed Emmanuel Butler. Emmanuel Butler had a nice touchdown grab, which we'll look at a little later. So yeah, I think that's going to be Kirkwood. I can't remember if Kirkwood is cut or not, but overall the Saints did pretty good, and like I say, they're gonna have to develop a pass rush. I know we went 13-3 last season, and somehow the defense came together. So maybe we can repeat it this year, and this year we won't be getting cheated, and this year we're gonna win that Super Bowl in Miami. So without further ado, I want to present my top 5 plays of the Saints preseason.
Only dress 45 on a Sunday.
Yeah, and then play. Can they get these? There, hold, and a grab. Touchdown Saints. Emmanuel Butler, despite being held.
And these are...
All right, so that was Emmanuel Butler right there. That was actually an honorable mention. I forgot to mention, I got a couple of honorable mention plays. That was an honorable mention play. Nice. It was a nice throw by Teddy. And it was a nice grab by Butler. So that was an honorable mention. Nice grab. Toss and catch right there. So let's see what we get at another honorable mention. Another honorable mention is going to be the Klein interception against the Chargers. So this is an honorable mention. Great play. Didn't make the top 5, but it was still a great play. Let's look at it anyway.
That the stats can be thrown off based on how big and teams are throwing against you. Taylor, tip ball. It's intercepted. Picked up by A.J. Klein. And the Saints come up with a turnover off the deflection. Mata.
All right, so that was another honorable mention. I got to get used to the software, man. It's not running smooth like I want, but that was a nice play by AJ Klein. A nice play by AJ Klein. That's another honorable mention play. Now, I know a lot of y'all are waiting to see what the top 5 plays are. And I'm getting ready to show them to you. And I'm going to let you know right now. The number 1 play is not the play that you think it's going to be. It's not going to be the play you think it's going to be. So let's start off with the number 4 play. The number 4 play of the number 5 play of the Saints preseason was Teddy Bridgewater to Dan Arnold for the touchdown.
Seconds left and a couple of timeouts on the board. Underneath, it's Arnold. Does he get there? Yes! Touchdown Saints. Look.
So that was my number 5 play right there. And if you notice, we're probably going to get into the battle for number 2 position. I know it's coming. I know y'all want to argue about who's going to be the number 2, whether it's going to be Teddy, whether it's going to be Taysom Hill. I'll get my opinion a little later. I'll let y'all keep on arguing about that. But that was my number 5 play of the preseason. That was first of all, it was a nice throw. It was in traffic. It had some zip right there, very accurate, right in the hands of Arnold. So all he had to do was just turn around, drag a couple of people into the end zone. So that was my number 5 play of the preseason right there. Now, the number 4 play is going to be Taysom Hill. And guess who? Arnold again. Let's watch it.
Hill. Strong throw. Touchdown. On the money to Austin Carr. Taysom Hill with a BB.
Okay, my fault. That was Austin Carr. I'm sorry, y'all. So that was my number 4 play. One of the things about that play, number 1, was it was just busted coverage. So you can't help but to make that throw. But it was still nice. It was still nice to see him kind of scan the field. It was nice of him to really just see the coverage break down. And he made a nice throw. Very catchable in the arms, put him on stride so that he was able to just walk into the end zone. But I put that in number 4 because it was really an easy throw. That was really, really, really an easy throw. So kudos to Taysom Hill. We've seen a touchdown pass for Teddy. We've seen 2 from Teddy. We've seen 1 for Taysom. Now, the number 3 play of the Saints preseason. And this play, it might shock y'all. It might shock y'all. Okay? The number 3 play is going to shock y'all. But I promise you, the top 2 plays are better than this one. But hey, you gotta if you do a top 5 plays of anything Saints, and you don't have Drew Brees in it, put your word in yourself. So here's the number 3 play against the New York Jets. Drew Brees to can't guard Mike.
3rd and 7 for Brees and company. Out of the gun. Brees pulled the trigger, looking for it all. End zone. It's hauled in. Touchdown. Terrific grab by Thomas. He put it over the head of Campbell, and the Saints strike first.
Now, a lot of y'all are saying, how the fuck could that be number 3, Dave? I mean, it's number 3. It was an awesome play. Don't get me wrong. Awesome throw by Brees. Awesome catch by can't guard Mike. But we've seen it over and over and over again. We've seen it over and over again. We've seen that connection. I'm not saying it wasn't a great play. I'm really not saying it was a great play. It was a wonderful play. But I just think that there were 2 plays that was better than that. First of all, actually the throw to Michael Thomas before that was great too, because if you remember, there were 2 plays before that touchdown pass. He threw a bullet in between 2 defenders to Michael Thomas by 2 plays before that. So it was a great play. It was my number 3 play. Yes, it was number 3. A lot of y'all gonna be like, "Oh Lord, what? You can't beat that." Well, actually, in my honest opinion, it can. I think there's 2 more plays better than that. So here is my number 2 play of the Saints preseason. None other than the punt return by Deontay Harris against the New York Jets.
Deontay Harris, deep at the 25. High sailing kick from Dar, handled at the 21. Harris trying to counter. Deontay Harris just trying to beat Dar, and he will. Touchdown, Saints.
And that was my number 2 play, the punt return by Deontay Harris from in the New York Jets game. Now, a lot of y'all are saying, well, hey, that should have been number 1. That should have been number 1. What are you talking about, Dave? That should have been number 1. What? I see a lot of people just joined. So let's see who we got. We got, man, I don't know. Alan Richter joined. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name. Mike Roberto is in the house. Roberto is in the house. Vicky Mishpool Cabinet is in the house. John Martin Jr. is in the house. Tyler Gouliet, what's going on, brother man? What's going on? He is in the house. He says, hey. Tony Williams is in the house. Tyler said, Eli Apple something. I agree. That is one apple that got worms all up in it. That man is garbage. Holly Combe is in the house. Joe Pettigene is in the house. Michael Pinkins is in the house. Kirk Joseph Hunt is in the house. Tawana Lewis is in the house. Denise Anderson McMillan. Teresa Ann Walton. Jimmy Jones Jr. Dre McDaniels in the house. B. Bennett Bass. Octavia Henry is in the house. Miss Melba Patterson. Tremaine Davis is in the house. So, Mike Robertson said needed to pick up McCoy, the McCoy defensive tackle for Tampa. He went to Carolina. How old is McCoy? Man, he was back in the day with Glenn Dorsey, so he might, I don't know. I mean, he's a veteran player and everything. And, yeah, he probably would have helped. But I don't know if he would have been an impact player. He might have been. I don't know. You know what, to be honest with you, I'm kind of already satisfied with the defensive line as it is. You know, we don't need to go out and spend a lot more money. Now, how much he would have wanted as far as money is concerned, I don't know. Who knows? But he might have wanted a little bit of money. And I think the Saints are kind of almost, you know, maxed out when it comes to that cap. So what do y'all think about the top plays so far? What do y'all think? Y'all, somebody give me an idea. Did y'all catch those top plays in the honorable mentions? Did somebody catch it? Somebody say something, man. Somebody say something. Because I'm not revealing the number 1 play until y'all let me know about the top 4 I put in so far. Hello. All right, somebody said something. Number 2 is number 1. You think number 2 is number 1? Well, it was close. I'm not even going to lie. It was close. But there was just one play, in my opinion, that was just a tad bit better. And I think the reason why I chose it to be better, or number 1, was because of the timing and who it was. Now, to kind of review, number 5 play was the Teddy Bridgewater pass to Arnold for the touchdown. Number 4 play was the Taysom Hill touchdown pass to the other tight end. Man, I am so bad with names. Oh, it wasn't Arnold, but the other tight end. That was the number 4 play. Number 3 play was Drew Brees to can't guard Mike in the Jets game. Number 2 play, of course, was the punt return by Dante Harris in the Jets game. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal the number 1 play. All right. I'm going to go ahead and reveal the number 1 play. The number 1 play in the top 5 Saints preseason games. Yep. Y'all ready? I'm just going to let y'all watch it. I'm not even going to announce it. I'm just going to let y'all watch it. The number one play for the Saints. Preseason play.
It was a dual threat at North Dakota State for the Bison. 2nd and 10. Stick intercepted. It is Colton Jumper. All the way. Touchdown, Saints. Multiple flags on the field.
Yeah, that's right. That was a number one play. That was a number one play, y'all. That was a number one play. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to stick by it. First of all, it was a linebacker. That linebacker covered that pass better than our cornerback. Number two, he returned it back for an interception, even though there were some flags on the play. But who cares? Number three, it was at the end of the game. It was the sealer. It was the sealer. That's why that play was number one. That play was number one. So, getting back to the Saints, that was my top 5 plays. Yep, that's right. Big Banner Bass said defense had to be represented. That's right. Tell you something. The linebacker played some good games. The Klein interception, that pick for interception, that interception for a return for a touchdown. Well, one it was a touchdown. The flags come on the play, but still, it was just a great play. We got some athletic linebackers. We really do. We really do. Miss Moni T, welcome to the Sports Den Show. DeAndre Lease Willoughby, welcome to the Sports Den Show. Rick Pomplin, welcome to the Sports Den Show. Our linebackers are athletic this year. Now, I know we picked up another linebacker, and I forget his name. But we picked up the linebacker from Miami. I'm going to tell you something. This guy we picked up from Miami, I'm kind of having mixed feelings about him because, well, he's a good player. He's made some plays. But then I seen a highlight. This guy might be a little bit loose in the mind. I think he's a little bit touched in the head, to be honest with you. Because I seen one clip where he went to the opposite sideline and was actually just sitting there chilling, talking to the coach. I think it was Baltimore. And he just went to the Baltimore sideline, just chilling with Harbaugh. Harbaugh put his arms around him, was talking, laughing, and joking. And he was just sitting there laughing, joking with him. Then all of a sudden, Harbaugh said, "Man, you go over there." And he had to run away. He had to run across the field. He had to run across the field to get back to his own sideline. And then there was a play where I think it was against Atlanta. I forget who the wide receiver was, but it was like a screen pass or something. And he wrapped him up to tackle him, and he wrapped him up, and he picked him up, and he just walked with him for like 5 yards. I'm like, what? So I don't know what we getting with this guy right here. Yeah, he made some plays for Miami last season, but mentally, I don't know. The guy got some nuts loose. I think he got some low. Kiki, yeah, that's his name. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, Kiki Alonso, that's his name. Yeah, but we'll see. I think he's going to be trying to fill a void for a couple of injured linebackers for the Saints. I'm not saying he's not a starter. The guy made some plays. I watched some film on it. I haven't really watched a lot of film on it, but he's made some plays. I know he had seen a clip where he picked off a pass. He batted a couple of passes down. He got to the quarterback pretty good. So we'll see. I think he could be a solid contributor. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm definitely not saying he's a bad player, but just those couple of clips where, he went to the wrong sideline, then he picked up a play and carried it for like 5 yards. I'm kind of wondering if he's there, I'm kind of wondering if the elevator button is working. And if the elevator button is working, I'm trying to wonder if somebody's pushing it to go up. That's just my thought. But anyway, Sandra Ramirez, welcome to the Sports Den Show. Thank you for joining me on the Sports Den Show. But anyway, the Saints, preseason, I would give them, I don't know. I mean, overall team grade, I would probably give them a B. Just a solid B. I mean, of course, the offense looked great. But the front seven, the linebacker, defensive line look good. But it's just that secondary. It's just that secondary. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore, Marshawn Lattimore, he's good. Like Tyler Gilliard said, Eli Apple is trash. He is trash. Now, he kind of came on a little bit late in the season last year, But for him to kind of, elevated his game at the end of last season, I expected to see the same level during the preseason, and I just didn't see it. As a matter of fact, first game against the Chargers, he got beat so bad. If it hadn't been for Marcus Williams coming from all the way across the field and back the ball down, he was about to get beat for a touchdown. The wide receiver was a good 5 yards in front of him, maybe 6 or 7. I mean, to be honest with you, none of our cornerbacks played good. Now, the Saints got away with poor cornerback play for a good bit of last season. But we'll see if they can really just step it up. Other than that, I think the Saints are going to pick up right where they left off last season. Last season, of course, we got cheated. We went 13-3. Hey, the first game against Tampa Bay, who expected that backup to do what he did? Who expected that? That took the Saints off guard. But other than that, man, the Saints played complete games pretty much for the whole season. Cody Slovinsky, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining me on the Sports Den Show. So we're talking about the Saints, the preseason. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Okay, this argument was just as popular and just as intense as the Popeyes Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich argument. It really was. And there was a time where it felt like I kind of think it was starting to divide our fan base. The argument over the number 2 quarterback position, Teddy Bridgewater, Taysom Hill. And I'm gonna take you all thoughts on it. You all drop some comments right there. Let me know what you all think. Kind of looking at the preseason, Teddy, as far as the thing is, Teddy went against first string. Taysom went against the third, and scrubs that are not gonna make teams. So it's kind of like makes the scale shaky. I'm asking myself the question: would Taysom Hill still make those plays if he was going against the first string of all those first string defenses? That's a legitimate question. Don Silicio, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for joining me on the Sports Den Show. And here's the thing. I think Teddy really was concentrating not about to say spring, well, it's really fall. This preseason, I think he's really concentrating on trying to drop back and read defenses. That's the one thing that disappointed me about Teddy, is that he didn't run the ball. And by him not running the ball, he forced some passes and he took some sacks that didn't need to be taken. And there were some other throws that just absolutely could have been disastrous. Now, on the other hand, you got Taysom Hill. He made some great throws as well, but he was able to run the ball and gain yardage. But 2 things about that is that, number 1, he was going against third string and scrubs. Number 2, I would have really liked to see him. There were instances where he really just looked at his first read and then took off running. Well, if you're going to be successful and stay healthy in the NFL, you can't sit back, drop back for 2 seconds and then just pass and run. You can't do that. You will not have a long career, especially if you're a quarterback. Running backs take the hits all the time. Wide receivers take hits too. Quarterbacks are not supposed to take hits. And to be honest with you, Taysom Hill does add more value to the Saints because he can play multiple positions. And quite frankly, I'm assuming that he's faster than Teddy Bridgewater. It ain't like I seen Teddy run since the injury. I remember in his Louisville days, yeah, he was pretty fast, but that was quite a while ago. And one broken leg ago too. Now, if Teddy would have taken off and ran the ball, scrambled for some yards, then I would say, yes, Teddy deserves to be the clear-cut number 2. Jennifer Abear, what's going on? Thank you for joining me on the Sports Den Show. If Teddy would have took off with the rock on some times when it was clearly field in front of him, I would have been no hands down doubt he would be the number 2. But he didn't. Instead of taking off to run the ball, he's forcing passes in there. But on the flip side, you got Taysom Hill, who will take off, made some nice passes, but it was against third string and scrubs. So I got to ask myself the question, and I really kind of have to do a little bit of imagination here. I have to use my imagination here. And I'm looking at some plays that the Saints played in the preseason on offense, and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm picturing Taysom Hill in Teddy Bridgewater's spot. And I'm thinking about random plays, random passing plays, and I'm thinking to myself, if, for instance, the interception that Teddy Bridgewater threw against the Los Angeles Chargers in the red zone. Now, if that was Taysom Hill, would he have forced that throw, or would he have just ran the ball? Just imagining, folks. I'm just sitting here just thinking to myself, what if, but at the same time, against the Dolphins, when Teddy Bridgewater threw that touchdown pass to the wide open tight end, could Teddy have made that same throw? Had that same read? To be honest with you, it's really a toss-up, folks. And I think, honestly, I'm not going to choose. I'm not going to choose. And I think us as Saints fans, we just really have to rely on Sean Payton. And we have to rely on the offensive coach's decision. And they chose Teddy Bridgewater as the number 2. They have their faith. They have their faith in him. So it's a thing where you just gotta leave it up to the coaches. You just really have to leave it up to the coaches. Let them decide. And it's not like Drew Brees is actually, going to say, I don't feel like playing. Let them play. Nah, Drew Brees is a competitor. He's going to play every game he can. So it's really not. It shouldn't really be a big deal. Neither one of them is going to start over Drew Brees. Now we're talking about even a quarterback challenge, a quarterback race. Yeah, we can argue about some stuff. But since this is just a battle for number 2, who cares? Drew Brees is going to play. Drew Brees is going to be the man, as he always is. He's probably going to play another 2 years. Now, after that, after Drew Brees retires, then we can argue who's going to be the starting quarterback. But until then, who cares? Trust the coach's decision. Teddy's a number 2. Taysom is a number 3. But what it really boils down to, Taysom going to get snaps anyway, because they have a whole set of plays for him, and Taysom's going to come in the game regardless. Now, they might have a package for Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know. We'll see. But we know they got a package for Taysom Hill. Whether it's going to be that read option with Kamara or something. But I tell you what, man, who was it against? Who was that against? It was a touchdown pass. He threw a beauty of a touchdown pass to Alvin Kamara down the middle last year in the playoffs. And I think it was against, I don't know if it was against the Rams, I forget, but he threw a beauty of a pass to Alvin Kamara streaking down the middle. But it was called back. I was so mad. I was like, wow, look at this. But it's no argument, folks. Drew Brees is your starter. Drew Brees is going to be the man. Let's just enjoy Drew Brees as long as we can. Then, when Drew Brees says, you know what, I'm through. I'm taking me and my family to Disneyland. We're going to go travel around the world. Thank you, Saints. Thank you, the city of New Orleans. Thank you, the state of Louisiana. Goodbye. Then we're going to argue about who's going to be playing. And by that time, you never know, the Saints might have drafted another quarterback. Maybe Joe Burrow. But you didn't hear that from me. But right now, let's just chill. Enjoy Drew Brees. He's a man. Let's cheer these boys on to go to the Super Bowl. I think they got a good chance. We'll break down the Saints record Thursday. But as far as the preseason goes, Saints look like they look good. We can't go by record because, we got to think about it. End of the game, a lot of Saints, besides the Miami game, they was pretty much in every game. They was in every game. Well, they was in the Miami game as well, but it just looked like Miami just. Well, actually, I take it back. The Vikings game, the first game of the season, it just looked like, oh gosh, it was pretty rough. We had some glimpses in the Vikings game, but then after the Vikings game against the Chargers, against the Chargers, the Dolphins, and I forgot who the other opponent was. But yeah, the rest of the preseason they look good. But like I say, preseason is not to determine your regular season. Preseason is just to determine who's going to be on your team, who's going to be contributors, who's going to be your number 2, who's going to be your number 3, who's going to make the cut. That's all preseason is about. If we just had to be good just to play football, we seen football. Our LSU Tigers, they beat the brakes out of Georgia State. That offense looking like it's going to be record breaking. So the Saints, on the other hand, we know what we're going to get with the Saints. Oh, Mike Robichaud, you're going to show us some Zion love. There you go. That's about as much love I can give you for Zion. And I tell you so. You know what? It might know how to get me riled up. Here's a Zion. Let me go talk about Zion. This is basically a dude that got a college degree, a scholarship to Duke over some YouTube, over some Instagram videos. Yes, the dude is a high-flying monster. I ain't denying that. But that is about 85% in the NBA. The guy can dunk. Yay, whoop-de-doo, great. Can he hit a jump shot? You get in the NBA, you're not going to get all them dunks that you got to do. You're not going to get all those dunks you got to do. You got to be able to hit a jumper every once in a while. You can't play in the post. If you can't hit a jumper, you're not going to be a threat to the defense. They're going to leave you wide open. They had a saying when I was little, when we went to the basketball court. If you was a garbage player, you a self-check. Meaning, oh, don't worry about him. He ain't finna score. If we just go double team somebody else. That's probably what Zion gonna be. Hey, they're gonna look at him and say, hey, prove to me you can hit a jumper. But don't get me started, Mike, on Zion. I mean, he's a nice kid. Don't get me wrong. He's a nice kid. I'm happy he got paid. I'm glad that he was able to get out of the financial situation that he was in, him and his mom, his family. But he could have done it with some other team. Y'all already know I wanted Ja Morant as the number 1 pick. If we'd have gotten Ja Morant, oh, look out. But nah. And I don't know what the Pelicans love fest is with these Duke players. I just don't know. Everybody knows Duke players don't do nothing in the NBA. Duke players are like Alabama players. They all hype in college. They get to the pro and don't do zip. That's right. And I moved my head with that too. That's how hard I shook my head. I moved my head because I wanted to put emphasis on it. Duke is the basketball version of Alabama. All the hype, all the media type talk, get to the pros, they garbage. They are garbage. Thank goodness we got what's his name? Nickel something from Virginia. Now he's gonna be a baller. He showed out in the summer league. He showed out for real. Zion talking about he bumped his knee. Man, get the what out of here. Talking about he bumped his knee. People bump knees all the time. Get in the game. You just out of shape. You don't want to show the rest of the NBA that you ain't got no jumper. You came in the game, all them people came to see you. You stayed in the game with what, one half? And all you got to show is 4 dunks and an ugly 1 jumper? Get out of here, man. Duke players are overrated. And they talk about J.J. Redick. Yeah, this is saying J.J. Redick that when Duke played LSU in the NCAA tournament, College Temple had held him down to 3 points. Beat him down. I remember that game. I was actually living in Charlotte, North Carolina when LSU played Duke. And boy, I was talking so much trash. Ooh, those Duke fans couldn't stand me in Charlotte. But hey, it's out of my control. It's out of my control. Yeah, Mike, I showed him some love. That's about as much love as Zion gonna get from me until he can prove he can hit a jump shot. That is about as much love as he's gonna get from me. That's it. I'm sorry. I just, one thing about me, I can tell when somebody's good, and I can tell when somebody's overrated. I can tell when you can walk the walk. I can tell when you can talk the talk. Duke players talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. Sorry. Point blank. But that small forward that we got from overseas, I think he's gonna be nice. I like his game. He has an outside jumper, not afraid to go in the lane. He dunked on some people. That's who I'm kind of excited to see. That overseas player that we got from overseas. I forget his name. I wasn't prepared to talk about the Pelicans. That's why I forget his name. But from looking at his highlights, I think he's probably gonna come in here and make some noise. Alonzo Ball, he's not gonna be a scorer, but he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be the same role as with Rajon Rondo. I think he's going to be the floor general. It's going to be exciting when they run up and down the court. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be real exciting when they run up and down the court and Lonzo Ball start throwing those alley-oops to Zion and Jackson Hayes and all of them. But the problem is going to be when they get in half-court sets. Who's going to break, besides Drew Holiday, who's going to break down the defense? Who's going to be your go-to guy in the middle? Who's going to be that? But we'll talk more about the Pelicans as time moves on. But right now, we got our Saints. We got the Saints Monday night. Almost a little bit of a week from tonight. Almost a week from tonight. We got them Monday night against the Texans. So we'll see how they do. I think that, the Saints are going to be, I don't know. I want to say they're going to be 13-3 again, but I really just do not know. Not really ready to make my predictions. Not quite yet. I'm not ready to make my predictions, but we'll see. If the secondary can tighten up, yes, it's going to be great. The defense don't tighten up, well, we're just going to have to see. They managed to get through with it last year. Went 13-3. Let's see if they can repeat it. Well, it's been real, y'all. Football is in the air. LSU 1-0. Hopefully our Saints can start off 1-0. Texas against Texas Monday night. Not going to be a show tomorrow, but there will be a show Thursday. We'll do some season predictions on the New Orleans Saints. Friday, we'll talk about the big matchup between LSU and the Texas Longhorns. I still can't believe Texas Longhorns really had the audacity to wear there's no one DBU. Man, please. Get out of here. So, let's go out with some good music. This is from my boy 5 Star, my boy Dottie.
Oh yeah. 5 Star.
This is my boy Dottie.
This is New Orleans. Who that nation? Who that? We that. Who that? Who that? We that. Who that? Saints going all the way. Kumbaya, this the Who That Nation. Game on the line, you can bet we take them. Go. Black and gold. Don't stop, boy, we tryna win the Super Bowl. We rock and roll. Touchdown, go Saints, we gon' do it some more. We rock and roll. Touchdown, go Saints, now give me some more. Who that? Holla, who that? Holla, who that? Who that nation? Black and gold.
On Facebook, where you talk about your music team, and you get
black and gold. Who that? They ain't ready for us. They ain't ready for us. Black and gold, black. Who that? They ain't ready. What up? They ain't ready. What up? They ain't ready for the black and gold, black.
and gold. Game time, baby, and I go for the Saints. I was born in New Orleans where we party and drink. Super Bowl on the line and I'm playing to win. I fell in love with the hook, watch me sing it again. It goes, who that, who that, holla, who that, who that, holla, who that, who that, holla, who that, who that, who that, who that, who that nation? Black and gold, black, black and gold. Oh yeah, I'ma take it old school on this one. Yeah, Saints, right? Yeah, yeah. Let me see, put your hands up. Yeah. Yeah, not two-step, do what you do. Not two-step, do what you do. Not two-step, do what you
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened to the music? We gonna start this over. I accidentally deleted the music. I'm sorry, y'all. Come on, we gonna do it again.
Oh yeah,
We gonna do it again.
fire stuff.
I was so
This from New Orleans. Who that nation? Who that? Who that? We that? We that? Who that? Who that? We that? We that? Who that? Who that? We that? We that? Saints going all the way. Saints going all the way. Kumbaya, this the Who That Nation. Game on the line, you can bet we take 'em. Go black and gold, black and gold. Don't stop, boy. We trying to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, hey,
rock and roll, rock and roll. Touchdown, go Saints. We gonna do it some more. We rock and roll, rock and roll. Touchdown, go Saints. Now give me some more. Who that? Who that? Holla, who that? Who that? Holla, who that? Who that? Holla, who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that nation? Black and gold, black, black and gold.
Turn my head to the back a little bit. Y'all want to do the old school?
Black and gold, black and gold, black, black. Who that? Who that? They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready for us. They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready for us. They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready for the black and gold, black, black. Who that? Who that? They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready. What up? They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready. What up? They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready for the black and gold, black, black and gold. Game time, baby, and I go for the Saints. I was born in New Orleans where we party and drink. Super Bowl on the line and I'm playing to win. I fell in love with the hook, watch me sing it again. It goes, who that? Who that? Holla, who that? Who that? Holla, who that? Who that? Holla, who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that nation? Black and gold, black, black and gold. Oh yeah, I'ma take it old school on this one. Yeah, Saints, right? Yeah, yeah. Let me see, put your hands up. Yeah, yeah. Not two-step, do what you do. Not two-step, do what you do. Not two-step, do what you do. Now watch your wop, 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 let me do what you do. Ha! Who that? Who that? We that? We that? Who that? Who that? We that? We that? Who that? Who that? We that? We that? Saints going all the way. Saints going all the way. Black. Who that? Black. We that? We that? Black. Who that? Black. We that? We that? Black. Who that? Black. We that? We that? Saints going all the way. Saints going all the way. It's your boy Five Star in the building. Y'all already know. Once again, Saints Anthem. This is another classic for our city, baby. I want everybody to stand up. If you're a Saints fan, put your hands up. Who that nation? Black and gold. Now bring the hook back. Who that? Who that? We that? We that? Who that? Who that? We that? We that? Who that? Who that? We that? We that? Saints going all the way. Saints going all the way. Black. Who that? Black. We that? Who that? Black. Who that? Black. We that? Who that? Who that? Black. We that? Who that? Saints going all the way. Saints going all the way. This for New Orleans.